Air cooling. Air cooling is the simplest and most common way to keep your computer from turning into a hot potato. It uses metal and fans. That's it. A chunk of metal called a heatsink sits on top of your CPU, and when it gets hot, the metal soaks up the heat like a sponge. Then the fan blows that heat away into the air inside your case, and other fans push it out. Imagine your CPU is sweating, and the heatsink is the towel. Cheap, easy, and reliable. That's air cooling. The only real downside? It's not the quietest. When your computer's under load, those fans sound like tiny jet engines. But hey, it works. No fancy liquids, no risky plumbing, just good old wind power. It's the reason budget PCs and gaming rigs everywhere stay cool enough to survive long nights of Minecraft marathons. AIO liquid cooling. AIO, or all-in-one liquid cooling, is what happens when your CPU gets treated like it's in a sci-fi spa. Inside that sleek-looking unit are tiny tubes filled with coolant, yes, literal liquid, that move heat away from the CPU and send it to a radiator. The radiator has fans that blow the hot air out, kind of like a car's cooling system but shrunken down. The best part? It looks awesome. RGB lights, glowing tubes, all that futuristic flair. But it's not just for show. AIO coolers can handle way more heat than most air coolers, making them perfect for powerful CPUs or overclocking. The trade-off? More parts, more chances for something to go wrong. If an air cooler fails, you lose performance. If an AIO leaks, well, you might lose a motherboard. Still, for most PC gamers, it's the perfect balance between power, looks, and not needing a wrench to install. Custom water loop. Custom water loops are for the kind of PC builders who look at an AIO cooler and say, "Cute, but I want danger." These setups are fully custom built. Tubes, fittings, pumps, reservoirs, all carefully pieced together like a mini science lab inside your case. Instead of one sealed system, you build the whole route yourself. Water flows from a tank, through the CPU block, maybe the GPU too, and back to the radiator. It's gorgeous, clear tubing, colorful coolant, and if you add RGB lighting, your PC basically becomes a nightclub for electrons. But it's not just about looks. Custom loops can handle monster levels of heat and keep your PC whisper quiet. The downside? You need patience, tools, and nerves of steel. One wrong fitting, and you might create a very expensive water feature. It's not for beginners, it's for enthusiasts who enjoy risk and beauty in equal measure. Passive cooling. Passive cooling is the chill monk of the PC world. Calm, silent, and doesn't need to move a muscle. No fans, no pumps. Just pure silent heat dissipation through massive chunks of metal, fins, and clever design. The idea is simple. Heat naturally rises and spreads, so the components slowly release warmth into the air. It's perfect for low-power builds. Think home servers, mini PCs, or systems you want running 24/7 without making a sound. The big perk? Zero moving parts. That means nothing can break or make noise. The downside? It's not powerful enough for high-end CPUs or gaming beasts. If you tried to cool a gaming rig passively, you'd probably end up with molten RAM. But for quiet, low-heat machines, it's pure serenity, like a computer meditating while doing your taxes. Immersion cooling. Immersion cooling is when your computer takes a literal bath and survives. The entire motherboard and components are dunked into a special clear liquid that doesn't conduct electricity. This liquid absorbs heat way better than air, so it keeps every part cool and calm, even under insane workloads. It's like your PC living inside a fish tank, minus the fish. And yes, it looks as weird as it sounds. Companies use it for servers or crypto mining rigs that run non-stop because it's super efficient and quiet. But it's not something you do at home unless you enjoy risk and cleanup. Spill it once, and your workspace smells like a chemistry lab. Still, it's one of the coolest and most futuristic methods out there, a PC taking a spa day in liquid armor. Thermoelectric cooling. Thermoelectric cooling is where science decides to flex a little. It uses something called a Peltier module, a tiny plate that gets cold on one side and hot on the other when electricity passes through it. It's like magic, but real. The cold side touches your CPU, soaking up heat, while the hot side dumps it somewhere else, usually with the help of a heatsink or a water loop. Sounds amazing, right? It is, until you realize how much power it eats and how tricky it is to balance. If you don't manage that heat properly, it's like trying to cool your drink by setting your house on fire. Still, it's fascinating tech, the same stuff used in mini fridges or spacecraft. For most PC users, it's overkill, but for experimenters and hardware nerds, it's a fun way to turn science class into a cooling system.